Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Dear White People, Volume 2, Chapter 10. Full spoilers for the
Finally.
episode, as always. I really had to think about it though. I was actually nervous. As I was building up, and I was saying like, "Oh, welcome to Almost Cancelled. Here's the names." I was like, "Oh God, don't screw this up. This is my last chance.
Last chance, and you
My,
finally got it.
my last chance to nail it. We did it. We did it." So, it's the season finale, season 2, and Sam's back, and they actually did something really different with the title screen. There wasn't anyone; it kind of came up, and then the X was the 10 on the,
Yeah.
because obviously the X is the symbol of the secret society, which Sam and Lionel are looking into this episode, and they're looking through the books and they're trying to find things out. Which, by the way, I think the one thing that struck me about this episode is that obviously I really loved the Lionel episode where he was like doing his investigating and it was a noir. And see when they were running around like the bell tower at the end, and like
Yeah.
there's these dark corridors, and they'll try to figure things out. I'm like, damn, I want like a detective show with these two, just like teaming up and solving crimes.
It might be better.
Yeah, I want mysteries. I don't know, that's a bit harsh. It may be better.
Oh no, I don't that I'm not enjoying this, but that might be better.
Yeah, I was just because Sam's reactions to his pin board. Damn, did you catch the Zodiac killer as well? That cracked me up.
Yeah.
So yeah, where to begin? I will say I think my first thought of this finale, and I said that the last thing I said, but my first thought, is that this definitely didn't end with like they know, okay, we're assuming we're getting season 3 and we have plans, and it's so kind of leading into what season 3 is going to be that I feel like by the time this show is done, whether it's 5 or 6 seasons, all of it will have taken place kind of over the course of a few months.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Because like I don't know why, but I was kind of expecting this one to be more of like a proper finale, right, where it sort of wrapped things up. And then because I was thinking early on in the episode, oh, maybe like 1 and 2 will feel like a sort of one big story, and then 3 and 4 or whatever. But no, I guess to the end of this, and it's just like no, like Sam doesn't even go out in that stage and debate with Nikki. She's off with Lionel, and then we get the big bombshell. The oh shit, the narrator's here. He's in the show. Gus Spring just walked into the frame.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what's happening here? As soon as I see him, I'm like, I know what's happening. I know who that is,
Yes.
but what the damn hell?
And obviously he looks at the camera because we've had that throughout a lot of the episodes this season, but this time it's Gus. It's and
Yeah,
I'm discrediting the man by calling him Gus, but that's who he is.
it is. It
Giancarlo
is.
Esposito is his real name, but Gus.
Yes.
Presumably he'll get a name next season. Now that he's a character in the show,
Maybe just a code name.
just a code name.
And one of his
Yes,
code names, the narrator.
it could be. I could see that being a thing because it seems that he is actually part of this secret black society. That seems to be where it's going, and this show is getting so much weirder than I thought it
I
was going to
don't
be.
know what is going on.
I kind of love it though. See when it got to the point where they were like, under the pin board and they're like doing the circles, and it was showing you like, oh, there's a fountain, and that was Troy earlier this season, and here's this
Yeah.
location, and they were drawing lines, and she's like, that's how this usually works, right? It was like such
She's
a
not
meta.
wrong.
Yeah, it was like such a meta little like. Oh, usually they make a pattern and you can figure out something based on where they are.
And I mean, I guess it tracks given that the symbol's an X.
It does. I'm not sure what they were expecting to find. So when they got inside the room and they were disappointed, I was like, okay, but what were we expecting to find? Like a room full of people, like all in
Chairs,
secret
something, I
meeting.
guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. I'm
I think the
fascinated
fact
though.
is, it was so dingy and all cobwebs that it looks like no one's been in there in forever.
Mm.
So I think that's what they were disappointed in, that it looks unused.
Did you enjoy the Harry Potter reference?
Of course I did. I always enjoy a Harry Potter reference.
Did you enjoy that Lionel went, oh, a pop culture reference I can get?
He did a Captain America, yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, I understood that reference. That's what he did there.
Yeah.
But while he was having his very awkward sex scene, he even dropped a reference to Street Fighter or something like that. He was like, "Oh, it's like a Street Fighter code,"
Yeah.
as he was putting some lube on. And he's very upset, of course, because his boyfriend's like, "Oh no, we don't have to like confine ourselves to this, one-on-one relationship. We can do anything we want." And he's just like, "Oh, okay." I was kind of into.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Yeah, I was kind of into just having a relationship with someone, but yeah, okay. You might have sex with everyone, okay, that's fine. We'll do that. And of course, there's a lot of sex in this episode because Sam's even getting some. Her and Gabe, getting it on
As expected, I guess.
as expected. And that was. I mean, it was actually kind of a sweet scene once they had the talking afterwards.
Yeah.
And they talk about grey areas and how she doesn't like those very much, because she doesn't know how to handle them. And that's kind of what Nikki represents, because she's this weird anomaly. She's she's a black woman, but she's on the conservative side of things, and she's all the things, all viewpoints, which leads to, and this is where the episode really got surreal for me, was the scene with Sam and Nikki. When Sam was there to go to the meeting, and she ends up going into the other room, and she goes into the stage. And Nikki's there. They're behind the curtain at the stage. And I particularly laughed at the point where she says, I don't want to be on a stage. And she's like, you're literally on a stage. That was amusing. Also amusing, and I caught this before she even went for it, was the platter in the background on the table was the owl platter.
Yeah.
Coco's owl platter. That really made me laugh. Like, I was poking fun at that whole joke last episode. It's all worth it now. The fact that it just was there in the background for me to notice, worth it.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Worth it. And Nikki basically kind of says, yeah, I used to be like you, and then, I got like a book deal, and I basically started, talking from my side of the line just because it was good for the debate. It was good for the college debates, and it led to a book deal, it led to these things, and it's all basically became about just like, getting her a paycheck and, keeping her career going. And Sam's like, no, I'm not like you. I've got, I have honor. And she's so caught up by what she says to her, and she's worried that she could become that. I mean, I'm sure she'll change her mind on this, but she does actually say to Lena later on, I'm done with dear white people. She doesn't want to do it anymore.
I think the moment I like is when she hits back with, oh no, she says, oh, I'm not like you. I'm not a character. And she says, yet.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, no, no one is at the start, but give it time.
Yeah, because she says, after your book, you'll look back at it and you'll be like, oh, I don't even remember the girl who wrote that.
Yeah. I think because the idea is, people change, right, over time. They just do. Whereas if this is how she gets successful, you're kind of not allowed to change.
Yeah.
You have to just stay as that thing.
It
becomes a character, even though you've moved on, or even if you share those same views, you have developed and evolved.
Just to relate it to what we're doing right now on YouTube, there's like, there's YouTubers who they get big for one thing they do. They get big for the one thing. And let's say it's the Angry Video Game Nerd. He's successful for that show. That's why people like him. And he gets kind of tired of doing that show. He doesn't want to do it as often. He wants to try other things. So he'll put out other things, and people don't like it. We come to you for Angry Video Game Nerd. Stop doing this other weird thing. What are you doing? Do the thing we like from you. And don't be like that. Let people flourish,
Yeah, you see it with bands all the time, where they like the first couple of albums, and then the band wants to try something a bit different, and people just like, no, we want the same old.
Yeah, because I think if you're a creative person, ultimately you want to try different things eventually. You'll do the same thing for a while. You'll get your fulfillment out of it. You maybe get really good at that one thing, but no, I want to challenge myself again, because now I can do that in my sleep. Now I can, if you're good at writing a very type of specific rock song, and you've got a couple of albums full of those rock songs, then you go, you know what, I want to do something a bit more soulful. I want to do something a bit more emotion, and test myself a little bit. And then everyone's like, but we came for you for the generic rock. Where's my 3-chord riff?
Pretty much.
So, it tracks. But I like, and it's also just a fun sequence because Tessa Thompson played Sam in the movie. So there's a really weird meta thing here where she's like, "Oh, you'll become me." Like there's a meta thing in there that's really cool.
There is, yeah.
So no, it's fun that Tessa Thompson could come back for this.
Yeah, I mean, she's everywhere, so I'm surprised they found the time.
Yeah, on Westworld, she's in several movies. Like we see her in a new movie trailer almost every week at this point.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
It's getting silly. I wonder if she recognises the actress who was in Dear White People season, in the movie. Did she recognise that actress?
Yeah.
Has she changed? Maybe she has. I don't know. But no, there's lots of there's lots of little scenes here that just cap off things. Like there's a scene with the security guard from season 1 who held up Reggie. We see that he's losing his job. Dean comes in and he's like, "Oh, don't let the door hit you in your ass on the way out." But he kind of hits back with like a little, "Oh, my brother already got me a job. Like I'm going to be,
I'm fine. Yeah,
I'm going to be on the streets. Watch that drive. That speed limit."
Yeah.
And it's almost like a threat. He knows what he's saying when he says that. Don't make me pull you over. Now that I'm going to be like a regular cop. So it's like, okay, you kind of stood up for Reggie. You did the thing you were supposed to do. But in a weird way, it still feels like a loss.
In a way, it's kind of worse because now he's in a position of possibly even more power.
Potentially, I mean, he's walking about with a gun either way, so I guess it's.
No, I know, but now he has jurisdiction over just anyone on the street rather than just college campus.
But yeah, so that's a bit of a blow, and and obviously Sam's whole thing in this episode is that, okay, there's a lot of bad stuff's happened to me this year. I need this all to like build up to something and mean something. This all mattered, you know. That's something my dad used to say. So no, I like her and Lionel together. There's a nice contrast between them because she is the hard hitting, outspoken one, and Lionel's a bit more mousy and a little bit more hesitant.
Yeah.
They complement each other quite well, I thought. And we don't get enough of them together, so I'm
no, it struck me when we were getting this. I'm like, you really haven't had much of them together. Not
No.
when they're just in a big group, sure, but not just the two of them.
No, and they have really good chemistry. I mean, a lot of the cast have a really good chemistry, admittedly. Speaking of chemistry, we had Reggie and Joelle hitting it off finally. It kind of just played as it should have, and it was nice and sweet. And then we get a nice big laugh at the end when Sam walks in, and they pretend they're just reading, but they've already got their clothes off, so it's just like
Very clear what's going on.
yes. I appreciated the effort though, I must say. Another little joke that I love. This episode really brought back the humour, despite the fact that it's got a couple of really hard hitting scenes. It really brought back the humour in a big way. The other one is that Al's convinced that the fire that led to AP House being integrated with the white students was intentional. It was a conspiracy of some kind. And he gets like a small group of people. He's like, "Yeah, come on, like we believe this." And and we see them running around like throughout the episode doing various things. Later on, when Sam and Lionel are going to the bell tower, they run past. And it's like Sam, blah blah blah, and he just runs
We got
off.
the proof, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the bit where it's like, hey, no, you got shot in the shoulder. It's like, dude, you were there.
Why are you believing these stories?
Yeah.
Nah, it's good stuff. But it's actually like a little mid-credit. Like, see, it's after the whole Gus thing. It comes back to them watching. They've got the USB stick in the laptop, and it's actually the white dude we've seen him a few times in the season, of course. But in this episode specifically, he's with a group of people, and they're kind of like just casually complaining about the radio show and all of the hubbub, all these debates happening. And they just kind of wish it would go away. But he's wearing like a Black Lives Matter shirt, and he's kind of like seemingly more progressive in a really sort of innocent, idiotic way. And then he just at one point shouts over, "Hey Coco," and it's Kelsey. And Kelsey just slowly just like waves at him, like not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And then he pulls that shit later on with Sam, and Sam looks like she wants to kill him. That was cracking up. But he like an idiot puts foil in the microwave. Can we talk about how stupid this is?
Yeah, I mean, I thought everyone just knew don't put foil or metal. And I thought it was just
There's one
standard.
rule. There's one rule when it comes to a microwave.
Just no metal. That's it.
Just one. First rule of microwave: you don't put metal in the microwave. Second rule of microwave: you don't put metal in the microwave. That includes foil.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's obviously it's tin foil. It's aluminium, but people just kind of assume it's not metal. I guess.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can wrap my head around how.
But it's the way he looks side to side and then watches the camera and goes, "Oh," and then runs out. But my favourite part is like Al, because everyone else is kind of like, "Al, have you really dragged us along for this?" And he's like, no, seriously, this could be a conspiracy. They could have paid him to pretend that he did this by accident. It's a whole conspiracy. And he's trying to convince them, and then he just sort of looks down, and you can see in his face that he's just saying this to try and get himself out of trouble. Like he's like, he's like,
Yeah.
I messed up. I did bad. Oh dear.
Yeah, I think with the comedy being back so much in this episode, I have really it highlights just how much was missing the last few.
I kind of appreciate them deciding to do a couple of more focused things, even if it did mean the show.
Yeah, I don't feel like they should have been back to back though.
Oh, that's fair. Actually, there was a moment last episode that I forgot to mention that I really liked. When Coco mentions that she's made her fair share of hard choices, and Joelle asks her what that was, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk about that. It's not about me." And I was like, "Oh, I like that we know what that is. I like what she's really thinking about there." That was a nice touch. And of course, the big scene we have to talk about here is early on in the episode, Coco is actually sleeping with Kurt, and it's a very casual thing. Like they're not even kissing on the mouth. They're like, there's this weird thing, but there is chemistry there, so maybe that'll develop next season, and we'll see Kurt and Coco blossom. Same with Troy, who's kind of out of the protesting game, but he wants to get into this comedy stuff, and he's written like a thing for Kurt, and he's like, no, you have to do more. There's got to be more than this. And it just kind of leaves that there again. It's sort of left dangling for next season. But the big thing, so they hadn't that they were doing something together, like all in the sex, right? They're ploying something.
Yeah,
and it's not until later in the episode you find out what that is. It's that she was like arranging all the invites for this debate, and she very specifically selected pretty much an audience almost entirely the black students. So Nikki comes out on stage. Well, first Silvio comes out. He's presenting her,
Yeah,
as
he's doing the introduction, and
yeah.
you just because there's a moment where he falters, and you go, "Is it just empty? Has just no one turned up?"
Yeah, because there's no noise, there's no cheering, there's not even any booing, and
It's
it's
just
like,
and and it very distinctly doesn't show you the crowd. So I thought, oh, it's empty, right?
which is
That's why
good
he just rushes through it.
because it kept me guessing. I was sitting there going, "Is it empty?" But it lingered on it so long that I was like, "Okay, but okay, there's more to this. What's going on?"
Yeah, like if it's empty, this is too easy. He'd just turn around and be like, "Hey, it's empty," right?
Yeah, if it was like three people, I don't know, like that was one thought I had. It's like it's almost empty. There's like
Yeah, but if that's the thing, if it's three people, they're the hardcore people who show up. They're going to be vocal.
they're gonna shout, they're gonna scream, but one way or the other, whether it's for or against.
Yeah.
But then she comes out and she also falters, and you don't really. She says a couple of things, and then you see the crowd, and it's all the black. We see some of our characters, of course. Reggie's there, Joe's there, so on, and Kurt eventually comes in as well, and we find out that he arranged all this with Coco. It kind of confirms that for us. He also is like, yeah, people keep thinking I'm you, Silvio, so thanks for destroying my brand, asshole, and sits down. But yeah, so she has to stand up there, and she's clearly nervous about delivering this very right-wing speech, because it all starts with it was really the liberals' fault. Like all this bad stuff in our history, it was liberals that did that.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. And we don't get to see the rest of it, but it is a really poignant kind of moment when you just see the crowd, and it's like, yeah, good luck. And I love that they're not booing. I love that it's just silent judgment.
Yeah. No, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels a lot more stark, a lot more harsh.
It does.
And that's good. No, that was good. So, yeah, I think I'm genuinely surprised at how this is just like setting up the next thing. It felt less cumulative, even though there is a culmination in there for a lot of things. It felt a lot more, because obviously a lot of the relationships feel a bit more wrapped up. A lot of those threads are done.
Yeah, I would say maybe to a fault. Like last season, I feel I got a little bit more out of the end of the season with everything that went down. Whereas here, we'd been building to this debate, and we get something out of it, but I don't feel satisfied in the same way that I did at the end of the first season.
I guess you could say we get the honest debate behind the curtain before
We do, yeah.
the showman's debate in front of the curtain. And I don't know if we start next season with Sam, like she gets some information from Gus, and then she just storms into the hall, and we can pick up there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I think it's a fair complaint if you think this is not as much of a finale in that sense. And I kind of see where that complaint comes from, but at the same time, what they've set up for next season is such a...
Yeah, it's something that probably won't matter in the long run when you're just binging it. Say there's 5 seasons and it's done and you're just watching through it. It won't matter. But now when I'm like, okay, I've got to wait a year, presumably. And okay, this is what we ended on. Last year it ended on such a big moment. I was like, okay, I'm satisfied with that. Whereas this, I'm like, I got a great tease with with Gus stepping out. Don't get me wrong, that was fantastic. But some of it, I'm like, I wanted just a bit more meat to it. I think to feel like a big ending.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair critique. But at the same time, I'm really excited and intrigued by the Gus reveal. And it's like, he's really here. There's something to this secret society stuff. What's happening? Where are we going with this?
The fact that this narrator that has been here since episode 1 is actually a person.
Yeah, in this world, like, I wonder to the extent, like, when he's talking, like, in each of the characters' episodes, when he specifically is like, oh, so Lionel thought this about his past, and he's talking about Lionel in depth, or whatever character the episode was, like, what is that all actually in continuity? Like, he actually knows all that information, or is that just going to be sort of glossed over as, oh no, he knows all these secret society stuff, but all that specific information was
I don't know if you tell me that he's narrating it from the future.
Sure,
and this is just him regaling the story.
It could be. That could be it. Is he actually spying on all the characters, and he just knows a lot of stuff?
Or they've just told him this over time, and
Oh yeah, go in the future theory.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So if they told him rather than him just finding things out.
Yes, very possible. Like, is this a book he's writing one day based on whatever they accomplish over the 5 seasons?
Yeah, could be.
I don't know. It's really interesting. I'm actually really intrigued. A small touch I liked as well with the Sam Ricky scene was when she pulls out her camera. Ricky just doesn't dispute being filmed in any way. She's like, oh, there's enough light in here for that. Like, you sure we're not, like in the shadows kind of thing. Again, there's like a sort of like thematic thing in there. Where it's like, oh, we should probably shine more light in this, right? You don't, you're sort of, unless your aesthetic is to be a little bit more, in the
murky.
Dark.
Yeah. And then and she kind of is shocked because she's just like, yeah, go on then, let's just get it over and done with.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. So, no, I think it's a pretty solid episode. Is it a solid finale? Is maybe the more interesting question.
I feel like it was a little overstuffed because it was a finale and they were like, okay, we want to check in with everyone.
Yeah, it was a little bit longer. It was 35 minutes as opposed to the
it was. 30. I could tell, there were points where, specific things like, like Troy. Like, it's just like, okay, here we are, touch base. I'm like, okay, it's not really doing anything in this episode, though.
Yeah, that's fair. Troy's little portion, it's like, it's important stuff, I'm sure, going forward. Yeah. But it could have been in next, the premiere next season, probably.
Yeah, it's just little touches like that where I'm like, okay, I get why it's here because it is the end of the season, but it's not necessarily adding anything to this episode.
To an extent, same with Joe and Reggie.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the sort of thing that if that was going to happen at another point in the season, we might have just got that from Sam's perspective. She comes in and sees them, and we're like, and that's how we learn. Because that's what this show does, where it catches up on events that just, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I felt like I did kind of notice it a little bit more in this episode, the way it was doing that.
Yeah. But hey, I think I listened to a lot. I think season 1 is maybe the more... I don't want to quite say consistent, but I feel like as a package, season 1's a more full meal, right?
Yeah.
Season 2, though, I think there's a few particular things, like, episodes or scenes that I think reach for, higher highs. I think the episode 8 with Sam and Gabe, I really liked that episode.
Yeah.
I really like Lionel's Noir episode. I think that's one of my favourite episodes of the entire show.
I agree, yeah.
And I love what this is doing in terms of setting up the narrator as actually being a character.
Yeah, but I think season 1 had a better pacing. We had things going on, and then episode 5 happened, and everything, shit hit the fan, and okay, from here on out, everything's about this event. And I think so focused.
Yeah, I think if you compare the two seasons, season 1 had this thing where the first half, up till episode 5, everything kept sort of going over the same period of a week until it got to that shooting incident, or gun incident rather, because there was no actual shooting, and then it sort of reset almost, and then all the episodes after that, again, they all kind of went back and forth around the same time period. Whereas with this season, it went up to episode 7, swapping around over the same time period. But then after episode 7, we just moved through in time, sort of in a linear fashion.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm just observing that it
was
changed.
Just a distinct and perhaps jarring change.
Yes, it was definitely a different thing. But at the same time, the episode that starts that is episode 8, which I actually loved that wasn't anything else. I loved that was just in one room.
No, I think for that episode to work, it had to be that.
Yeah.
But I think it's when we get to episode 9 and just follow those characters that you kind of notice it, right?
I wonder if we could have almost used another episode or two. Because there's nothing I'd want to cut.
No, I agree with that.
It's just a case of, to get the pacing back up, maybe another episode after she goes back home for her dad before it gets to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I'm with you.
Or even before, have the three of them leave, stay in campus with the other characters, and then get the episode with them.
Go and watch them. Yeah. Just to break it up a bit.
Yeah, just to break it up a little bit. I think maybe that would have been nice.
Yeah, because I think, as much as we talk about how, or we were at the start, it's just Sam's kind of our main character. It's been so good at being an ensemble and jumping around that when we got kind of 3 in a row here at the end focused on Sam, for the most part, I would say, feels kind of strange.
Yeah,
I'm not used to getting that much of one character.
Yeah, it's a weird complaint. Any other show that'd feel weird to say about, but
it would. But based on the format of this show, I think it's kind of I felt it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do have to say I'm glad they didn't shoehorn an episode in for someone else when they didn't have anything for anyone else. Like, just for the sake of, this is our format, we should, have a Troy episode here before the finale because, we're expected to have other characters' episodes.
No, that's fair.
So I appreciate that they didn't, they broke their format because it would have maybe hurt the story they were telling more than aided it. So yeah. I can respect that that insight, that choice that they made, where they consciously went, no, this is the better thing for the story we're telling. Even if the downside to it is maybe some of us will feel that, oh, they've altered the format here.
Yeah. So, no, I get that.
So it's give and take. It's kind of like, you know,
it is.
It's balance essentially between the two sides of that. But hey, so season 2 was pretty good. I liked it a lot. Like I say, a few of the episodes are my standout favourites of the show. And we should have the show back next May, June. The gap between seasons 1 and 2 was very good at being almost exactly a year.
I think it was like a week apart from being exactly a year.
Well, so I would expect it, you know, maybe the start of June next year, if we bump back another week.
Yeah, depending on where the Fridays fall as well.
That is also true. So I'd expect that. But yeah, let us know what you thought of the finale. Let us know what you thought of the season as a whole. And the comments, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. There's bonuses over there, voting stuff for the movie shows and various other things. There's also handy links for all the different shows we do, all the audio feeds. Of course, one of the things we do every week is me and Connor will talk about a movie from the past on 121 in Flux, and we'll dissect it and talk about it. Sometimes we've seen it before, sometimes we haven't. The next episode going up for the public will be Alien vs Predator. It's not always a good movie. That's worth mentioning. Sometimes it's a terrible movie, and we'll discuss it in that capacity. But
oh, yeah.
There we go. So that has been Dear White People's season 2 finale. So thank you very much once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys, and we'll see you next time.